Hello and welcome. I hope you're safe and well. In today's exciting episode, I make a jacket. It's Burda 6123 and it's a summer cotton reversible jacket. I think I like this side best.
It's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Perfect jacket.
So the last jacket I made was this Burda one, also summer cotton reversible. And I like it, but you sort of need big shoulders. This is the opposite side, the galaxy side. And you sort of need big shoulders for this one. So I do like it, but it's not for me. And then, it reminded me that I've got this other Burda one, Burda 6123, and it's even easier than the last one I did. It's just front left, front right, and back. I made it last year with this rainbow tweed, and I put beads and sequins all over it, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, it's been a while since I used this pattern, and I threw out the the traced out bit of tissue, so I have to retrace it. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll just make a cotton reversible one to familiarize myself with the pattern again, and then I'll make a tweed one. Or I think I might use one of my jacquards and then bead it. Anyway, I'm going to make a beaded version, but first I'm just going to make a simple cotton one. So here's the drawings, the line art, and I'm doing the top one, it's cropped. So it's front left, front right, back. The back you can cut on the fold, or you can cut it left and right. Because I only got 1 yard of each of these fabrics, and they aren't fashion width, which is 60 inches wide. They're quilting cottons, which are 45 inches wide. So I actually had to cut them the back one half than the other half. But if you have slightly more fabric, then personally I think it's better to cut them on the fold, because then you don't have that back seam. Anyway, so I cut them out, and the first thing I have to do is sew the two backs together so that I have one big back piece. So I've cut out, so I sewed together the two two back bits of each color, and then you press the seam open, splay it open, and then you hand stitch them down. And a couple of people asked if you could see the stitches. And this is me trying to find a stitch to show you, because I've used prints, not plain fabric, and I color match the thread really well. The trick to color matching thread is don't try and match your whole spool of thread to your pattern or your fabric. You just need one strand, because it's the strand. If you just have one strand of thread, it's actually much lighter than the whole spool. So that's the trick to color matching properly. Anyway, so I stitched down my seam, and now that my back piece is whole, I just lay it down on the bench, and we're just going to pin the two front pieces on, front left and front right. With this, don't try and pin everything on at once. Just pin the top shoulder seam on one side, and then turn the whole thing around and pin the bottom, the underarm and the side seam. So you have to do the shoulder one first and get that right. And then it's big and awkward, but you only have to do two seams. Well, 2 shoulder seams, 2 underarm side seams, so 4 seams. And then your jacket's done basically, and then you have to sew the outer jacket to the inner jacket. And so once I'd pinned them, I just folded it up, ready to take over to the sewing machine, and I did the other side, the other fabric. So the same, you just lay out the back piece flat, and then you put one front piece on the top, pin the shoulder seam, then turn the whole thing around and do the underseam and side seam in one big go, and then do the other side again, shoulder first, and then the under one. And then it's just way easier if you fold them up to take them over to the sewing machine, because they're quite large and unruly. So I mean, it is easy in that you only have a couple of seams to do, but it's a bit big and awkward. So I don't know, if you haven't used a sewing machine a lot, I find that juggling big pieces would be quite difficult. I think it would be quite difficult if you're not familiar with sewing machines. But anyway, you can always just hand sew it. Until I was a teenager, I wasn't allowed to use my mum's sewing machine, which is fair enough. They can be quite dangerous if you don't know how to use them. But this is me showing you after you've machine sewed or sewed your seams, then you have to clip the curves under the arm, and then you just pin back and stitch back your seam allowance on the outer one side jacket and then the other fabric. So now you basically have two whole jackets, the aqua one and the 1960s floral one, and they are so cute. I love them. I really, really like the aqua one, but I like both of them. Anyway, so now it's time to take them off the mannequins and pin them together. And I'm going to do that bag lining where you pin them all around the outside, and then you pull them through really slowly through one sleeve, and then all you have to do is hand stitch the cuffs. So yeah, they're so cute. I think, again, I probably could have taken more time to do the placement of the front pieces, but I had such a limited amount of fabric. Anyway, so this is me showing you that you lay one jacket out and then you carefully fold in the sleeves. If you are paranoid about sewing over them, you can pin them into the middle of the jacket just so that they're away from the edges, and then you put the other one right side down so that two jackets are right sides together, and then you carefully pin the outsides together all the way around, and then you machine sew them. And once you've machine sewn them together, you cut the corners, then you clip the curve all the way around the neckline so that when you turn it out, it will sit well. It will sit nicely. And then you do the weird thing where you try and put the entire jacket through one tiny sleeve. So the secret is to just go really slow and just do it. I find it less frustrating if I just sort of turn the sleeve, take a bit out, turn the sleeve, take a bit out. And that way I feel like I'm actually doing something and getting there somewhere. But I'm also being patient and slow and doing it gently, because otherwise you'll just tear stitches that you just did. Anyway, so finally you get them both out the right side, and this is the octopus stage where the arms are all everywhere, and now you have to tuck the 1960s fabric inside the aqua fabric so that it looks like the lining of that jacket, and for the time being, the aqua is the outer jacket. And then you pin all the edges and turn all the corners out. And now we just have to top stitch. And if you want to use your machine to top stitch, do that. But I prefer to top stitch with do hand stitching. And as I said, it's as long as you really take your time to colour match your thread, you can't really see the stitches, in my opinion. Plus, I mean, who cares? I like having handmade clothes. It's nice. Anyway, so there we go. And so I'm trying to decide, as I said, the next jacket I want to make, summer style jacket, like non-Chanel style jacket that I want to make. I'm going to do a sequin one, and I can't decide whether to do that pattern on the left or this one, the Burda 6123 that I just did. This aqua jacket is so cute. The other side's cute too with the 1960s. I'll show you it in a minute. And I've got a dress that matches the other side. But this one is absolutely adorable. The back is a bit baggy, but yeah. I think normally when I make the Burda 6123, I do the neckline deeper, and I forgot to do it with this one. So I think I might turn it inside out again, like if I can be bothered pulling the entire jacket through the sleeve again. And I might redo the neckline and just do it a little bit deeper because, yeah, it's just... The body of the jacket is it's got a lot of ease. It's quite baggy, and the sleeves, because they're dolman, they're a little baggy too. And the neckline just right up to your neck, it's quite formal, And I just think when you make the neckline a little deeper, a little looser, then it sort of matches the rest of the jacket better, in my opinion. But also I have small shoulders, so it sort of evens me out. And this is the other side with the flowers on it. Very cute. But I don't know, that aqua side is, I always have one side that's way more, that I like way more than the other. And for this jacket, like this side here is going to look absolutely adorable. I've got this simple dress in the same fabric, and they are just going to look so cute together. But apart from that, I mean, it will also look adorable over a t-shirt and jeans. But apart from that, I think I'll pretty much wear it on the aqua side most of the time, because the aqua one is just beautiful. Anyway, so yeah, I'm not sure which one I'll use for the sequin jacket. Maybe I'll do one of each. That's pretty much the sewing portion of the episode. The rest is me just being me. I know what this jacket reminds me of. You know, in Sound of Music, where she has the brown jacket, and she's that sequence where she kind of gets kicked out of the convent, and she has to go work for the family and be the nanny to all the children. And she sings, "I Have Confidence in Me," that hideous outfit that she wears. And he's like, "What are you wearing?" And it turns out she's wearing the clothes that the poor didn't want. But I really like that jacket. The skirt is a little bit too dowdy, but it's such a good movie. I haven't seen it in ages. Ugh. For sure I'm going to be singing all the songs. Okay, maybe not Climb Every Mountain. That's a bit of a belter, that one. But all the fun ones. It was sunny here today and yesterday. It feels like winter is finally on its way out. And yeah, I was singing that Nina Simone song, "Here Comes the Sun." Well, it's not hers, but I love the version that she does. Anyway, so yeah, I think I do have some brown fabric. I actually have a brown tweed jacket, but I put all this so over the top gold beading on it. Keep threatening to take the beading off and just make regular beading so I can actually wear the jacket, because the gold beading is like 3 times as much beading as is practical. It's just ridiculous, but it looks beautiful. So I'm always like, I do have a lot of wearable jackets, and so I keep some that are just sort of, I made because they're just beautiful. So yeah, that's one of the ones where, because it's like brown jacket, it would be perfect. If I just put a normal amount of beading on it, then I would wear it all the time, because it's, I don't know, I like the boring jackets. Now and again I get asked which ones I wear the most. And it's kind of the really classic ones, just because like you can wear them to a meeting and then you can wear them out. I don't know, they sort of go under the radar with most people, and that does end up being a consideration. But I also love the really bright ones. They're just so fun and they've got so much energy. Anyway, I do have brown fabric, so I could turn some of that into it's enough for a small dress, but I could just use it all to make a jacket. And then bead that, I suppose. Anyway, as well as the sequin one. I really have not seen this movie in years and years. And I just realised that when I lived in India, I worked with children and also worked with some nuns. So it's exactly like, there were no Nazis there. But apart from that, exactly like Sound of Music. Exactly. Not really. Not at all. It surprised me that they weren't really particularly religious. I grew up Christian but not Catholic, so I guess I just assumed that they were there for the religion, but they were sort of, it was more like a job. Yeah, going to India in general was just, all my assumptions, I was like, well, I'm wrong about this, I am wrong about that. The people who did humanitarian aid, they're just like Westerners who go there. And I was working with orphans and abandoned children. And yeah, they were just, most of them were there to party. There were a few genuine ones, and they were just really, really genuinely lovely people. But a lot of them were straight up there for a holiday and to binge drink like and party every single night. I did really enjoy working with all the kids, but yeah, I don't know. Humanitarian aid is such an industry, and I had just this completely other notion in my head, and I can't really reconcile it with the reality. But I guess I'm such a naive person. Now that I've finally seen that Disney movie Tangled, I can understand, like, people used to say you're a Disney princess, and I did not understand what it meant. I think they just mean I'm, like, intelligent but gullible at the same time. Very, very. And in that movie, Rapunzel, like, she gets lied to all her life, and she has to sort of realize that she's been lied to, unlearn all the lies, and then learn new facts that are real. Anyway, I don't know why I went off on that tangent. Oh, the brown jacket. Anyway, so I made this jacket and I really like it. I am going to change the neckline, but it's just so cute. I love this aqua side, and it's got little seed pods that look like ladybugs. I once again went an entire video without saying ladybugs. I probably could have got out the dress that's made out of that fabric and paired the two together. Well, when I fix the neckline of the jacket, I will get out the dress in this fabric and show you those two together. And then I may have finished the aqua layer cake dress by that time. And then I can put the aqua ladybug side with the aqua layer cake dress. It's a plan. Anyway, that is it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you made it to the end, gold star. I'm going to go sing some Sound of Music songs, and you can have fun sewing. Thanks again for watching, and happy sewing.